Pros, oh, they insist on it. A pro's work starts on the plate. Oh man, that does look good. Let me have a taste. Get your own. All right, all right. Where do I find this? Is it factormeals.com? Yep, and they've got a deal going on. Oh, love a deal. I am so in. Smart move. Pro move. All right. Factor. Eat like a pro.
This is the Los Angeles Clippers. They can contend for a title. Heard exclusively on the LA Clippers Audio Network.
Clippers down big late in Denver. And Carla, I got to say, this fourth quarter, things turned on that reviewed play with Tim Hardaway Jr. on that three-pointer. I thought it was an interesting call, not just because they ended up reviewing it, but because at first Jordan Miller is on his right side to make sure he isn't in his landing space. And then he backs up and yet still somehow was deemed a reckless closeout. It was just an interesting call.
Yeah, I think the craziest part of that, Adam, is if that ball is off the front ring, that's never reviewed because there's no foul.
Yeah.
And so because we have a stoppage, now they review the play. Not only do they review it, but then there's no challenge as well. Just one you don't see often. You don't see a non-foul review without a challenge being initiated by anybody.
I'm frustrated, guys. Denver's got to be the most frustrating team to go against. Turn down the monitor a little bit. Just turn down the monitor.
Oh, there you go.
Jokic hits a three now. This game's over. The Clippers went into the fourth quarter minus 13 in the Jokic minutes. The non-Jokic minutes, they went minus 13. Jokic was a minus 1 through the first three quarters. And the Clippers are down 12 heading into the fourth. You can't go minus 13 in the non-Jokic minutes. That's the game. That can't happen. Yes, Denver got a lot of free throws, and as I just mentioned, I thought that was a really interesting reviewed call on Jordan Miller, leading to that Tim Hardaway Jr. foul. But my God, you have to win the non-Jokic minutes. It starts there. Really, really frustrating loss. And it's just, Coach Lou said it a couple of years ago, Denver owns us. They own LA. They own both teams in LA, apparently. Lakers can't beat them. Clippers can't beat them. Frustrating, man. Denver's up 16. There's 2 minutes left. Once Jokic went on that run finally in the fourth quarter, that's coming at some point. But they were winning the Jokic minutes through the first three quarters. How do you lose the non-Jokic minutes by 13? Tim Hardaway Jr. is how, who I talked about on Clips and Dip yesterday. He gets hot early. Look out. Guess what? I think he made his first shot. One shot hot. Jokic returns, gets a hero's welcome, gets a victory over the Clippers. It's just brutal. Man, you guys are saying worst officiated game, but just a few games ago, everybody was saying it was the Lakers game that was the worst officiated. I rarely ever talk about the officials, but this wasn't great for the Clippers. And that reviewed foul, because there was a dead ball, because he airballed the three-pointer, Tim Hardaway Jr., so the refs reviewed it. Otherwise, it's a play on. If the Clippers had just gotten the rebound and took it the other way, there's no review. No, there shouldn't be an investigation. It's just a poorly called game. Jokic also, he got a foul on Ivica Zubac where he flailed. It was frustrating. At least one of those. It's just Jokic antics. And can you really complain if you're a Clippers fan? I mean, James Harden draws a lot of those type of fouls. Leads the league in 4-point plays. I know it's frustrating. I'm with you guys. Yeah, the altitude, it's real, but there's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Breaking news. There's nothing. What was the dehumidifier thing they had in Colorado to try to take away the pop on the ball?
The humidor.
The humidor. I don't know if you can do that in the entire ball arena. Denver had a good game plan. The Clippers, it's the same game plan they used against the Clippers. Hedge the screens, make the Clippers have to beat them making open threes, and the Clippers didn't do it again. Chris Dunn missed 3-pointers, and they kept him out when they brought back the starters and just left Kobe Sanders out there because Chris Dunn was 1 of 6 from 3. So he's still seeing ghosts right now against Denver, it looks like. Denver's so good. I wouldn't have said this early in the season, but because of Jokic getting injured and you saw the young guys step up and Peyton Watson play this well, I do think I might take them in a series against OKC now because of the emergence of Peyton Watson. They've been doing all this without Christian Brown, with missing Aaron Gordon now again, without Cam Johnson. Denver's just so good. They got better this offseason. As much as we talked about the Clippers getting better, I kept reminding people, but Denver got better too. And then the Clippers got off to the awful start. And what we need is Denver not to get the 2 seed. Because the Clippers end up with a 7 seed. I don't want to see them have to play Denver. Denver's got their number. They got LA's number. Baited to switch the mismatch as their pick and roll is insanely good. Denver shot really well from 3. They see the Clippers and get active from 3. They reviewed the 3-pointer on the no call because the ball went out of bounds on a dead ball because he airballed it. So the refs went to review it for the reckless closeout. I didn't even think it was a reckless closeout.
22-109 as they beat the Clippers here at Ball Arena. Jokic back for the first time in 16 games. Clippers next game, Phoenix, 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock tip. That one on Sunday. As the inbound to Sanders, and that will do it. The Clippers fall to Denver, 122-106. They drop one on the road in Mile High. And Nikola Jokic goes off all night. 8 for 11 from the field, 13 for 17 from the free throw line. Clippers get 21 from Kawhi, 25 from Harden, 18 from Collins, who was 7-11 from the field. He had a great game, 13 from Ivica Zubac, and 8 off the bench from Kobe Sanders. Well, the Clippers will look to turn the page in a place in which they haven't had a lot of success. Another loss here at Ball Arena, but an opportunity to get right back into the win column on Sunday. For Jesse Trujillo, our engineer, Dan Collins, our statistician, Carlo Jimenez, saying so long from Ball Arena. We'll talk to you in a few. Don't go anywhere. Adam Oslin's got you the rest of the way. He'll take all your calls and questions next on the Clippers Audio Network.
Clippers basketball on the LA.
Well, that was frustrating. They always are against Denver. It just feels like you're in an uphill battle the entire time. They're so good. Even when you have a slim lead, it feels like you're still down. And I know you guys are upset with the refs. I'm upset with that call too. I don't think that's the main reason the Clippers lost, though. It's not. I'm sorry. I wish it was. You can't head into the fourth quarter minus 13 in the non-Jokic minutes. They got outscored by 13 points in the first 3 quarters with Jokic off the floor. And then in the fourth quarter, he cooked him when he was on the floor. Jokic was -1. entering the fourth quarter. And the Clippers were down 12. That can't happen. It just can't. But Peyton Watson had some moments. Tim Hardaway Jr. having that type of shooting game. Nasty work by him to end the third quarter against the Clippers. And they got a lot of free throws. We'll see what Coach Lou says post-game. I'm interested to see what they talk about regarding the officials. And Denver's also just really damn good. And Jokic is the best player in the game. And it didn't take him long to get back into Jokic mode. What time we go until, Daniel?
Got until 9:30.
I might have to do some Clippers talk after dark. Take it all the way to 10 o'clock tonight. Since we don't start Fox till 11, I might as well. I'm not going home. There was no memo sent out to make sure they lost. Guys, the Clippers settled for a lot of threes. They took 43s. Denver took 28. Who do you think was attacking the paint more? I wish it was that simple. There were some bad calls against the Clippers that went Denver's way, no doubt about it. But minus 13?
This one up. Now the reaction.
Wrong place, wrong time. Nikola Jokic returns. Clippers in Denver, and they lose 122-109 to the Nuggets. Welcome into your postgame show. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up, second half highlights, your postgame box score, and more. But first, we head back out to Ball Arena with your radio voice, the Clippers, in Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, the Clippers had their opportunities in this one, and to me, it still comes down to, while there were some calls that definitely didn't go their way, they were minus 13 in the non-Jokic minutes heading into the fourth quarter. That just cannot happen.
Yeah, I mean, the Clippers were unable to take advantage of Jokic being on the bench. Now, I do wonder, Adam, how much this Denver team felt maybe even more comfortable with him off the floor simply because that's how they had been playing. And, Tim Hardaway Jr., he had some tough threes while Jokic was on the bench. But, yeah, you have to. I mean, Jokic's on-off numbers, Adam, they're historic. And if you're not winning the Jokic minutes, you're really not going to have a chance to win the game often against the Denver Nuggets because that's how much of an impact he has on the floor. And the Clippers were unable to win those Jokic minutes and unable to win this game tonight. Credit Denver. They shot the ball extremely well from the three-point line. The Clippers did not, and the Denver Nuggets got to the free throw line a lot more than the Clippers. They were the more aggressive team. And I'm sure Ty Lue and the coaching staff, this one, they do not enjoy seeing another loss go down here in Denver. The Clippers outmatched by the guy who's finished either first or second in MVP voting the last 5 seasons.
Coach Lou said it a couple of years ago. They've owned us. They've owned LA in general. They've had the Clippers number. Unfortunately, they've had a lot of people's number. It's Nikola Jokic. He's the best player in the game still. He returns and has a performance like that in the fourth quarter specifically. But it's a close ball game. The Clippers make their run with Kawhi Leonard, and we talked about it. But that foul on Tim Hardaway Jr. by Jordan Miller. So it was a dead ball, Carlo. Kind of walk us through how that went because it was just a really unusual situation.
Yeah, so Tim Hardaway Jr. shoots a right wing three. He airballs it. He lands on the foot of Jordan Miller. And Curtis Blair is set to inbound the ball to the Clippers on the baseline. David Adelman screams over, hey, my guy's hurt. Don't inbound the ball. Curtis Blair comes over to check on him. Adelman is asking, are you guys going to review that? Blair decides, all right, we'll go to review it. They go to review it and call it a foul on Jordan Miller. The crazy part is I don't know. Maybe we'll get an explanation from the league, but usually if there is not a foul called and there is not a challenge, you can't go review a play to then add a foul to it unless they feel like there is a reckless foul called. Maybe that's where this one qualifies, Adam, a reckless closeout. And so because it can be upgraded, that's why you can go review it. It's just strange to think that if that ball's inbounded, if Adelman doesn't scream over, if Tim Hardaway Jr. hits the rim, that's not a foul. So you 3 different ways that is not reviewed. It ends up being a foul, a reckless closeout, and you're right. It kind of stopped the momentum in this game. Now that's not the reason the Clippers lost, but it was a strange point in the contest for sure.
Yeah, I thought the Clippers made a couple of pushes to end the second quarter. It was James Harden, but Denver would battle back. To end the third quarter, though, what happened there, again, the non-Jokic minutes where the Clippers ended up just getting destroyed. They went -6 in about 3.5 minutes without Jokic on the floor, and it was Tim Hardaway Jr. He was a killer. He's been a Clippers killer in the past, back when he was playing for the Dallas Mavericks. It feels like they're just assembling the best guys ever against the Clippers, the Denver Nuggets, Jonas Valanciunas. They have him now. But Tim Hardaway Jr. with those 3-pointers to counteract what Ivica Zubac was doing with Jokic off the floor to end that third quarter, also a big turning point.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they didn't go out and sign Jordan Clarkson while they're at it. Just get the Avengers of Clipper killers. But no, I mean, this Denver team, they're the wrong matchup for the Clippers, and they continue to prove that every single time these two teams face off. Jamal Murray, a quiet first half, then he ends up with 16 in the second half, 21 for Watson. He had 11 in that first quarter. He was huge for them. 5 threes for Tim Hardaway Jr. And they did not play Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, or Cam Johnson. And I think that's for the Clippers. You can understand Jokic going off, but this is still a team that's missing 3 starters. And so you felt like you had a chance in this game. Again, it did not go their way. And so the Clippers fall 122 to 109. As Ty Lue is asking, we're getting a look at the replay here, Adam, on FanDuel. It's the conversation between Ty and Curtis Blair. And Ty is pointing at him saying, you did not call a foul. As Mike Fratello, I'm sure, is giving an explanation. But, yeah, it's just an odd game, Adam. Clippers never really there. While they had a lead in the second half, Denver quickly erased it. Kawhi Leonard was good in spurts. James Harden had a great end of the first half, but didn't really show up much in the second half of the Clippers. And you just hope they can find a way to get it done against, a really good Phoenix team who got a great win over Cleveland here today. Yeah,
another team that has been playing without their star. We don't know if Devin Booker is going to return against the Clippers now, too. It wouldn't seem like that with the ankle injury he just had, but Clippers in Phoenix taking on the Suns on Sunday. Tip off at 5. We'll have your pregame show starting right back here at 4. Carlo Jimenez, great call. We'll talk to you on Sunday, my friend. Safe travels.
Adam, I appreciate you. I will talk to you on Sunday. Appreciate it. We got another one. I'll take it. Let's go.
Clippers lose in Denver 122 to 109 to the Nuggets and Nikola Jokic's return. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Like, if you guys want to make the refereeing part of the reason here, I'm with that. I just don't think it's the main reason. When you go -13 through 3 quarters of the non-Jokic minutes, that is the central reason why you lost the game. Was that call a bad call? I think so. It's a 4-point game. It's 97 to 93. And to review a non-call like that wasn't challenged, because you can't challenge it. It was a non-call. And not to mention, aside from what is reviewable, to me, that's not a reckless closeout. Jordan Miller moved to his right side to make sure to not have a reckless closeout. Tim Hardaway is getting up the 3. Then Jordan Miller backs up. Yes, he's more so in front of him because Tim Hardaway Jr. comes forward in his motion, but I don't think he stepped into him, at least Jordan Miller stepping into Tim Hardaway Jr. I thought, if anything, Tim Hardaway Jr. was stepping forward and maybe in an unnatural shot motion. There was no intent, malice, ill will there. I thought it was a bad call, and getting 3 free throws on that when it was an air ball and about to be the Clippers ball. Yeah, I thought Jordan Miller kicked out his feet some. I did. It was a critical call. It was. But the first thing I'm going to talk about in this game is going -13 in the non-Jokic minutes.
Yeah, Watson.
Peyton Watson, Tim Hardaway Jr. You can say we were on a run about to take the lead. You can say that all you want. It's rigged, all these things, but I'm sorry. It's not that simple when you lose the Jokic, the non-Jokic minutes, guys. God. Well, if Clipper Nation did not dislike Denver already, this game will do it. Clippers lose in Denver to the Nuggets, 122-109, as eventually Nikola Jokic in his return took over in the fourth quarter and still finished with a 31-point, 12-rebound, 5-assist ball game in a contest where the Clippers were right there. There was a controversial call, win against the Clippers. They lose for the first time in a week here. This Clippers team was down by 9 in the first half. And in the first half, they lost the Jokic minutes by 7. The non-Jokic minutes, they lost them by 7 in the first half. That cannot happen. You can't lose the minutes when Jokic is off the floor. That is the main reason they lost this game. Make no doubt about it. But Tim Hardaway Jr. during that time was good. Peyton Watson. The others stepped up. Jamal Murray. And the Clippers weren't good enough taking advantage when Jokic was off the floor. They trailed by 9 at the half. And then they made a run. In the third quarter, this Clippers team made a run. And it was James Harden leading them in the third to the point where they were up by 1 at one point. Yeah, James Harden with 10 points in the third quarter. The problem was when Jokic went off the floor, it was a 6-point Denver lead. By the end of the third quarter, after a Jamal Murray 3-point one-legged floater shot to beat the buzzer, now they're down by 12. They went -6 in the last 3.5 minutes of the non-Jokic minutes to end the third quarter, and now you're down 92-80. But we do have Kawhi Leonard here, then starting to find himself in the fourth quarter. Kawhi Leonard went into takeover mode there. Defense to offense. He had 9 of his just 21 points in the ball game in the fourth quarter. But it's a 3-point game. Make it a 4-point game at 97-93. Out of a timeout, there was a very controversial call. Why? Because there wasn't a call. At the 7:52 mark, it was a missed three-pointer so badly by Tim Hardaway Jr. It was an air ball. Jordan Miller on him. David Adelman then asks the officials, as Tim Hardaway Jr. was down, looked like he might have got banged up, if they're going to review that for a reckless closeout. Review what, though? There was no foul called. Well, the officials do have the authority, I believe, to review a non-call in that situation in the fourth quarter on a dead ball like that because it went out of bounds on the air ball. Otherwise, if he misses it any other way, the Clippers have the basketball, they're going the other way. And they would have had to call a timeout. They reviewed it, and Tim Hardaway was given 3 free throws. So it was a 4-point game, went to 7 at the 7:36 mark of the fourth quarter. It was 97-93, then 100-93. The Clippers started to unravel quickly after that as Nikola Jokic really got to work against them and looked more and more like himself. And the Clippers had some bad turnovers, and this game got away from them in a hurry. Was that a turning point? No doubt. Clippers lose 122-109 in Denver to the Nuggets. Your final box score coming up next. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
F-150. You'll see hard. Great picture.
Guys, I don't disagree that the Denver Nuggets got more calls, and that call in particular was a huge turning point.
Okay.
But I can't look past being minus 13 in the Jokic minutes entering the fourth quarter, the non-Jokic minutes. That can't happen. When Jokic is on the bench, that's when you have to make your runs. And instead, Denver made their runs during that time. That's just inexcusable. How did it happen? Mostly Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't like the call either, and I'm hoping we're going to hear from Coach Lue. I don't see that as a reckless closeout. Jordan Miller is literally backing up. He's backing up. First, he goes to the right side of Tim Hardaway Jr., then he backs up, so he is more in front of him, yes, but Tim Hardaway Jr. kicks his legs forwards a little bit and ends up getting the call on that. This is not some Zaza Pachulia taking the extra step on a closeout against Kawhi. It's not even close. It's nothing like that. That is not the spirit of the rule. I don't think that's the letter of the law. I don't get it. Of course, Denver improved. The non-Jokic minutes were the referees' minutes. Oh, did the referees make all those three-pointers for Tim Hardaway Jr.? It wasn't just Tim Hardaway Jr. at the line. He hit 5 threes. 5.
Perfect for pros like us.
Oh, so you're a pro now too?
Box says factor eat like a pro. So yeah.
I think it's time for you to share a bite like a pro.
No. Get your own at factormeals.com. Factor eat like a pro.
This is the Los Angeles.
I'm saying the fouls were a factor, Punk's gone wrong. But it's not the biggest factor. Losing the non-Jokic minutes was. Could people not just...
Yeah.
It's not one or the other. Clipper Nation frustrated, understandably so. Another loss in Denver, another loss to the Nuggets. It felt like game 8 of the playoff series or something. They lose 122-109 in Denver. Clippers shoot just, 47% from the field after they were at 40% in the first half, but 14 of 40 from the outside. There were 3 differences in this game, and maybe 4 actually I could point to. The Clippers losing the non-Jokic minutes entering the fourth quarter. The fouls going Denver's way. I haven't said that for any team all season long, but I think they obviously got a better whistle than the Clippers, specifically on that three-pointer by Tim Hardaway Jr., the non-call that ended up being a reckless closeout when Jordan Miller was trying to avoid his landing space. And the three-point shooting, huge. The Clippers are 14 of 40 from 3 tonight. And Denver was 16 of 28. So they took 12 less and they made 2 more. They shot 57% from 3. The Clippers just 35% from 3. Denver also went 26 of 32 at the charity stripe. Can we talk about how many free throws they missed? Jokic missed 3 in a row early on. It was insane. But the Clippers also missed 6 free throws. They went 15 of 21. So Denver ended up taking 21 free throws in the second half alone. I think the Clippers ended up with 13 free throws in the second half. You can't just look at the box score and say they got this many free throws. The Clippers got this many. The Clippers took 12 more three-pointers. It's hard to get free throws when you're taking more threes. Now, once in a while, you do get a reckless closeout, even when it's not. And Denver did get that. But I thought they attacked more. They were the more aggressive team at times. Still, yes, the Clippers got a bad whistle. I get why everybody's upset with that. It's just not the main reason for losing this game. I'm going to start with the non-Jokic minutes and them losing those. That can't happen. Tim Hardaway Jr., though, went off. He had 22 points in his 25 minutes off the bench. Their bench scoring 46. The Clippers got 27 points. I mean, they had multiple guys in double figures off the bench. 2 Clippers killers and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Jonas Valanciunas are now Denver Nuggets. The Clippers ended up getting 25 from James Harden. He was their leading scorer. end of the second quarter and in the third quarter, he did most of his damage, but didn't score in the fourth quarter. Kawhi Leonard only had 21, and he was frustrated, and he wasn't getting calls out there, and was just 8 of 18. He did have a run in the fourth quarter. 9 of his 21 points came there. John Collins, I thought, had a really stellar game. 18 points, a crazy putback dunk, a dunk in transition where he showed off the handle and the dribbling ability, which has been iffy at times. But John Collins, 18, 6, 4, 7 of 11, 4 of 7 from the outside. Ivica Zubac, 13 and 7. He played decently enough. He was a +1, and Jokic was a -1, I believe, at the end of the third quarter when Jokic went out in the third quarter. And those two were paired against one another for the most part. Those Zubac minutes against Nikola Jokic. I'm not saying he's a better player than Nikola Jokic. I'm saying he did a decent job against Jokic and was one of the reasons Jokic was -1 when he was on the floor the first 3 quarters. Still need more from Zoo. Has to throw that one down with the right hand that he missed early in the first half. I think he thought Jokic was going to contest it, and he didn't, but that just can't happen. Come on now. Chris Dunn, 2 of 9, 1 of 6 from the outside. Poor game from Chris Dunn offensively. It's the same game plan Denver always uses against the Clippers, and it worked again. Make other guys beat them from the outside, and the Clippers didn't hit enough of those shots. I thought Kobe Sanders went on a heater, had all 8 of his points, I believe, in the fourth quarter. That was good to see at least. A couple of 3-pointers there when the Clippers were making their push. Jordan Miller finished with 7. Nico Batum knocked down 2 threes, 2 of 6 from the outside, but not enough. Denver got better support from their role players, and their starters and stars as well were better than the Clippers. Clippers lose 122-109 in Denver to the Nuggets. Clippers next game coming up Sunday in Phoenix. Tip-off at 5. Pre-game show starting at 4. Outside of Los Angeles, leaving you until then in LA. Don't go anywhere. It's Clippers Talk next.
Clippers hoops. Oh yeah. Your post-game look at the LA Clippers. Don't miss it.
Paul.
Clippers basketball all season long right here.
They were doing a good job on Jokic. He was a -1 entering the third quarter. Excuse me. Jokic was a -1 entering the fourth quarter. They lost his minutes entering the fourth quarter. They had lost the Jokic minutes by 1, and the Clippers are down 12. That's the game. That cannot happen. Absolutely not. Collins was a beast. I'm with you. You guys can focus on the refs as much as you want. I think that was secondary or tertiary to a lot of other things in this game. I think it was a factor, though. It was. Clippers were not getting a good whistle. I absolutely think it was a factor. But a bigger factor was losing the non-Jokic minutes by far. Because guess what? It's not going to last. And what happened? In the fourth quarter, Jokic ended up going plus 13 in the fourth quarter alone. So if you're wondering why they get blown out like that eventually, it's because Jokic eventually won his minutes. Collins was really good. That was a damn shame. Who was doing a good job on Joker? I was telling you, they were losing his minutes. They were doing a decent job on him. Then in the fourth quarter, he erupted. Yeah, that's going to happen. He's the best player in the game. They missed open threes early on. They played into the trap of what Denver does defensively that I'm going to talk about here.
The official postgame show
It's frustrating.
on the LA Clippers audio network.
Nikola Jokic returns, and Denver's wins against the Lakers and Clippers remain. Denver owns Los Angeles for whatever reason. They beat the Clippers 122-109. And another frustrating matchup with this Clippers team falling to Denver, who has owned them. Hey, Coach Lou said it 2 years ago, so I think I can say it for years. Going back to 2020 in the bubble, coming back 3-1. They have a mental edge. They have an advantage there. And they have a better team now. They do. They had a great offseason too. They didn't have Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown, Cam Johnson. They're missing 3 starters. And the Clippers lose this game after 2 days off. We'll talk about the fouls. We'll talk about the specific one. Clippers down 4, 7:30 left in the fourth quarter. And we'll hear from Coach Lou on that coming up. But it's a little salt in the wound whenever you lose to the Denver Nuggets. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't. I get it. People are feeling like, first of all, you're losing to a familiar foe, a rival, whatever you want to say. Denver fans will say there's no rivalry going on. They've dominated the matchup, and they have. Remember there was that stretch where they won 8 straight against the Clippers? They couldn't beat them for a while over the span of a couple of years. So you lose to that team, and you get bad calls going against you. So it compounds things a lot. And Clipper Nation, I'm frustrated with you. On that call, I said it on the broadcast during the game. I've said it post-game. For them to review a non-call, that is a rarity. And the only reason it happened is because Tim Hardaway Jr. airballed that 3 on the right wing against Jordan Miller. There was no timeout taken. There was no challenge. It's a non-call. And the refs used their discretion and infinite wisdom to review it themselves for a reckless closeout on Jordan Miller. A closeout where, first of all, he avoids the shooter going to the right side on the closeout of Tim Hardaway Jr. to avoid impeding his landing space, which is what they're trained to do. And then he backs up even more, backing away from Tim Hardaway Jr., who then seems to kick his legs out a little bit, moving forward, eventually landing on Jordan Miller a little. And they awarded him 3 free throws in a 4-point game, which made it a 7-point game with 7:30 left in the fourth quarter. I don't love that call. In fact, I hate it. But I don't know if that's the main reason the Clippers lost the game. It's easy to point to that because then you don't have to accept the fact that Denver's just, they're a better team right now. And you could say, no, we only lost because we were playing Denver and the referees. Well, why were they down 12 heading into the fourth quarter? It wasn't the refs. It wasn't even Jokic. It was Tim Hardaway Jr. and the others. Peyton Watson. Jamal Murray, who's not a role player. He's a stud, and he's going to be an all-star. The Clippers lost the Jokic minutes, the non-Jokic minutes. When he was on the bench, they were minus 13 entering the fourth quarter. That cannot happen. That's how you lose a game like this in Jokic's return. Oh, he ended up with 31. Let me see what he had in the fourth quarter alone. So Jokic ended up with 11 of his 31 in the fourth quarter. He was a -1 heading into the fourth. If he's a -1, you have to be leading. You have to be. But it started at the end of the first quarter. We can take this all the way back. The Clippers were 4 of 5 to start the game. They look good. Both teams did, really. High-level basketball being played, tough shots being made. Spencer Jones 3 to start things off. Then Collins ties it with a 3-pointer. Kawhi hits a 3. The Clippers are up 10-3. Then a Jokic floater. Watson 3-pointer. Zubac's big throwdown on a pick and roll with Kawhi Leonard. But then Collins misses a 3 and Jokic hits one. And the Clippers are down 13-12 after it was a 10-3 lead. 10-2 Nuggets run. Collins hits an open 3. The Clippers started 4 of 5 from the field. But then Denver goes on a 16-5 run. But Jokic goes out, and they're only up by 2. So you assume this is your time to strike. This is your time to make hay. This is your time to take advantage. And at first the Clippers did. They tied up the game. But then James Harden had a turnover on a 3-on-2 situation, leading to a Tim Hardaway Jr. 3 the other way. I mentioned yesterday on Clips and Dip, previewing this game, there's somebody to watch out for. And yes, unfortunately, it was prophetic. Hardaway Jr. is a flamethrower if he gets it going early on. He's one of those guys that can be one shot hot, and he struggled against Milwaukee in their 102-100 win most recently until tonight's game against Brooklyn, going 5 of 14. So we'll see if those numbers change. But like, they're still talented. They're still well coached. He's one shot hot. That first make was on a Clippers turnover on a 3-on-2 situation. It goes the other way. They get in transition. Hardaway 3. And by the way, he hit 7 threes last night against Brooklyn. I mentioned him yesterday. He's somebody you have to account for, especially if he hits one early. And that was his first make. Then Peyton Watson gets a bucket. Jordan Miller misses a 3-pointer. He didn't have a great game. Watson floater, 7-0 Denver Nuggets run. The Clippers are down 7 now at the 2:18 mark of the first. By the end of the first quarter, at one point, Denver had made 6 straight shots, and they led 35-27 after 1. So they ended up, just in the first quarter, going +6 in the non-Jokic minutes. It just can't happen. They ended the quarter on a 13-5 run. The Clippers offense went cold. They hit 6 straight shots. Second quarter, Clippers start down 8. The Clippers at one point scored just 5 points over a 4-minute stretch from the end of the first into the second. And the Clippers got down early. Who is it this time? Jonas Valanciunas. He had an off-the-bounce fall-away bucket at the free throw line against Brook Lopez to put him up 37-27. I couldn't believe this shot by Jonas Valanciunas. Nasty. Tough to watch. Disgusting. We've seen it before. He loves playing against the Clippers, just like Tim Hardaway Jr. back with the Dallas Mavericks. He was a big reason that series went 7 games in 2021. He was lights out from 3. Couldn't miss anything till the last 3 games of the series. Jonas Valanciunas hit 7 threes against the Clippers before. So Denver's defense is the exact same thing they did in the playoffs against the Clippers, especially towards the end. They're going to pack the paint. They're going to hedge ball screens, which means they're going to trap the ball handler, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, which means it's 2-on-1. You have an open man somewhere. You have to beat them with threes. They're giving you 3-pointers. Are you going to hit those open shots or not? Are the role players going to hit them or not? Well, in the first half, the Clippers were 9 of 25 from 3. Listen to that. They took 25 3-pointers in the first half. 25. How insane is that? You're on pace for 50. Why did they take so many? Because that's the shot Denver was willing to give up. And saying, hey, Clippers, if your role players can beat us with this while we double team Kawhi and James Harden, so be it. But they're going to have to prove that. And the Clippers didn't. Again. They're 9 of 25 from 3 in the first half. Denver's 9 of 15. And towards the end of that second quarter, while the Clippers were down by 10, they ended up getting a nice run from James Harden. He started to find himself. James Harden hit 3 straight three-pointers and then got to the free throw line. He made 11 straight for the Clippers to bring it to 55-50 at the 2:27 mark. Clippers down 5. Julian Strawther, though, hits a three-pointer. Nuggets role players stepping up. John Collins then had a 4-point play opportunity, as he's been the best three-point shooter in the corner since in the month of January, but he would miss the free throw. But it's still a 5-point game. Jonas Valanciunas, and 1. Murray, three-pointer. Back to a 9-point game, Denver. So the Clippers had this 16-6 run. And then at the very end of that second quarter, where they're trailing by just 3, they get Jonas Valanciunas with an and 1, the old-fashioned three-point play, and a Jamal Murray three-pointer to put them up by 9 at the half at 59-50. The Clippers were right there. It could have been a 3 or 4-point game. Instead, it's a 9-point game. And in that first half, Denver went +7 in the non-Jokic minutes. More on that after we pause 10 seconds for station identification here on AM 570 LA Sports. For those who don't know what that means, the Clippers were outscored by 7 points when Jokic was off, or on the bench, I should say, and off the floor in the first half. And Denver still outscored them by 7 with Jokic riding the bench. We knew he'd be on a minutes restriction. He ended up in the game only playing 25. You have to crush them in the non-Jokic minutes. But it's 59-50 at the half. So, third quarter. Clippers, early on, signs of life. After a bad turnover, Zoo to John Collins on the interior. I like the play, but they couldn't connect. Harden gets a floater, 61-54. Kawhi Mitty, 61-56. Clippers back within 5. Collins has a block. Lost it on the other end, but then got it back and got it beats a Zubats an easy left-handed layup. It's a 6-0 Clippers run, 3-point game, 61-58. Clippers starting to make their run to start the third quarter. I like it. But then more free throws for Denver. Peyton Watson, I think he only went 1 of 2 because they missed 6. But they got a lot, and it's 62-58. Chris Dunn misses a 3. That was unfortunately a pattern and something we saw in the playoff series far too often. Those role players have to hit those shots with the way Denver is aligning their defense, as I mentioned earlier. They have to. But the Clippers were on a 9-1 run and had it at a 1-point game. And after a Dunn made three-pointer, who started off 0 of 4, it's 68-67 Denver. Out of the timeout, John Collins gets in transition and has a huge throwdown. And I mean, the effortless bounce that John Collins has is special. And the Clippers took their first lead since early in the first quarter at 69-68. Nice. Clippers lead. Murray scoop shot right after that. Clippers down by 1. Murray gets fouled. Free throws. Clippers down by 3. Harden loses it. Watson layup. Clippers down by 5. Just like that. 6-0 run Denver. Clippers briefly had that 69-68 lead. But John Collins, hashtag JC saves, big three-pointer, 2-point game in the third. Jokic floater pushing off of Zoo on a spin move. It was tough. Clippers still down by 4. Murray Free throw line floater. Now it's a 10-3 Denver run. They respond back. And you always feel like you're in an uphill battle. If you're up 1, 2, or 3 points, you still feel like you're down against Denver because it's just inevitable. They're about to score and go on a run. Jokic is that good. But at the 4-minute mark, Denver's up by 6 at 78-72. And Nikola Jokic is off the floor. Now, so is Kawhi at this time. But they left Zubac in while they matched his minutes against Jokic in the first half. In that third quarter, Coach Lou said, I'm going to let Zoo get loose a little bit and give him an opportunity against Jonas Valanciunas. And Zoo did. The problem was, and this was one of the other big stretches where they lost this game, Tim Hardaway Jr. kept hitting every three to answer Ivica Zubac's buckets. Zubac. Crafty layup, 78-74, 4-point game. Hardaway 3, 7-point game. Zoo layup, 5-point game. Hardaway 3, 84-76. Clippers down by 8. Zoo left-handed layup, 84-78. Hardaway left wing 3. They're up by 9. Dunn misses 3. Watson floater. Clippers down 11. Dunn hits a floater. Misses another 3 before the third is over. And then Jamal Murray hits a running one-legged three-pointer to beat the buzzer to end the third. And the Clippers are down 92-80. They go -6 with Jokic off the floor because Tim Hardaway Jr. hit everything. Denver ended the quarter on a 24-11 run. They had 8 free throws in the third. Fourth quarter, uphill battle. Hardaway three-pointer to start. Hey, Clippers are down 15 now. But Kobe Sanders showed some guts there to start the fourth. While he and Jordan Miller didn't have great games at all, Sanders answering that with a three-pointer right away was big. And then hit another one, 9-point game after it was a 15-point game. Jonas Valanciunas reverse, I can't take it. Disgusting. 11-point game. Kobe then gets a dunk. So Kobe Sanders, 8 straight points for the Clippers. Then Kawhi gets an and one going at his man and Spencer Jones. He and James Harden were trying to find him. It's 97-91 from 15 down to 6. Lopez blocks Jonas Valanciunas. Great play. Kawhi steal on Jonas, who was throwing it away, but missed a three-pointer. Clippers another steal. Kawhi, 2-point jumper. It's 97-93. They finally won the non-Jokic minutes. They're down 4. They just went +8 to start the fourth quarter. Timeout. You know what's coming next. Tim Hardaway Jr. The non-call. On the right wing, Jordan Miller closed out on his right side. Didn't touch him. Then backed up. And Tim Hardaway Jr., during his shooting motion, eventually landed on Jordan Miller, but there was no call, and he airballed it, and it was a dead ball, and it looked like he was hurt. And David Adelman campaigned for them to review the call, a non-call. They did. They awarded him 3 free throws for a reckless closeout on a guy who was backing up. And from a 4-point game to a 7-point game, Kawhi would take it down to 5. But then it was Jokic gets fouled by Lopez, his 2 free throws. Jokic layup. I was screaming, get Zubac back in. They're down by 9. Jokic back to the line after a Kawhi miss. Denver's on a 9-2 run. Jokic more free throws, 106-95. They would eventually run away with this. The Bruce Brown free throws to make it a 13-4 Denver run, put them up by 13. Jokic behind the back to Peyton Watson for the dunk. It's 113-97. It's over. Clippers end up losing 120-109. Before we break, Sean in Houston, you called in early. Sean, what's up here on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslin?
Hey, Adam. I've been taking vociferous notes on this game because when I look at these games, especially with Jokic coming back, which I was very happy that he was coming back for our game because I'm looking at it from the lens of the playoffs. and I'm going to unleash here. So my notes are as follows. Number one.
They're 22 and 20. They're 22 and 25. The playoffs are not guaranteed yet, but I get your point.
We're making the playoffs, Adam. We're making the playoffs. We're really playing good. That is Sean's stamp. It's already done. It's already marked. I'm actually looking at it. What kind of noise we can make. We're going to make the playoffs. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen.
Well, Sean, they're either going to play the 1 or 2 seed. You realize that, right? They're not getting the 6th spot most likely.
I actually think we can make possibly the seventh seed, and maybe if we keep
so
going
you're
on
playing the 2 seed then. So you're playing the 1 or 2 seed. If you're the 8th seed, you're getting the 1 seed. If you're the 7th seed, you're getting the 2 seed.
I'm not worried about the Spurs.
You're right. If they got San Antonio, I'm not going to say I'm not worried about them, but that would be an advantageous matchup.
I'm not worried about the Spurs. I'm
right.
worried about Denver. Okay, let me just go through. This is very important what I'm about to break down here. Number one, at the point before garbage time began, 32 free throws for the Nuggets. Only 13 free throws for the Clippers. 8 of those free throws came in garbage time, and I knew they were going to start calling fouls to benefit the Clippers, so it doesn't look as bad. 32 free throws to 21, how it ended, because they gave like 4 to Kobe Brown. They gave a couple on a couple of N1s.
Here's the thing, Sean. I don't just like looking at the box score and saying this team got more free throws than the other, so therefore it was unfair. Like, you'd have to tell me all the fouls that shouldn't have gone on the Clippers that got the Denver Nuggets to the free throw line.
And that's what I'm going to get to right here.
All right.
Jokic flailed. While Jokic is flailing, those fouls were called.
Which one?
Kawhi flailed many times on his shots, never called. No benefit of the doubt for Kawhi, right?
Okay.
So you saw Kawhi constantly does not get that respect.
That's fair.
But
Kawhi did not get a great whistle. He did not have a great game. He was frustrated.
He was very frustrated. So that obviously impacts if you're going to get those flails. And of course, Jokic, the golden boy, he's going to get his calls. Apparently he's back and he's going to get his calls. Number 2, we want no parts of the Nuggets in the playoffs. If Aaron Gordon, Kawhi Stopper wasn't playing today, Christian Brown wasn't playing, and Cam Johnson, we want no parts of them.
That's obvious. That's obvious. We can't let them get the 2 seed.
Yeah, no, not at all. Please stay 3. Please stay 3. If they get 2, then we're going home quickly. So Christian Brown, no Cam Johnson, that happened. They were on a back-to-back.
Yep.
And limited Jokic minutes, and of course, Valanciunas was doing his thing like he always does, even when he was with New Orleans. And of course, the flagrant review on the non-call on Tim Hardaway, that clearly swung the game in the balance, man.
It definitely had an impact, but to act like, the Clippers definitely win if this doesn't happen, it's like they were down 4. It was like it definitely had an impact, but we can't act like the Clippers win if it wasn't for that call.
Right, I do see where you're coming from, but the thing is, when the game is in the balance, and then you give Jokic fouls, Jokic free throws, you give Brown free throws again, then everything starts snowballing. You're trying to come back against a team that's a really good team that people are just hitting shots left, right, and center.
They're a really good team, which is why I can't say the Clippers definitely win if they just didn't get that call against them. That's my point.
Yeah. So, and last but not least, if we wanted to kind of see where the young guys are, this was a great game this is what I'm watching. I'm watching the young guys. The young guys know that this is a former championship team. Where are they going to be? Because they can play good against the Nets and all this stuff. I'm watching them because I'm watching from the lens of a playoff game.
Me too. And they weren't good until Kobe Sanders went on that run to start the 4th quarter. They were not good.
That's about it. That's all we got out of it, right? So I am all in on get Kobe White from the Bulls. We need a guy who's a flamethrower who can light it up, kind of like a Tim Hardaway. We need to get a Kobe White.
That'd be nice.
If Lawrence Frank is listening, go get Kobe White right now.
I appreciate the phone call, Sean. I like Kobe White. I like Colin Sexton. There's a lot of guys that can help this team. The problem is other teams are going after them too. They also want them. The Clippers have enough in a bidding war, especially when you're still in 10th place in the Western Conference and 22 and 25. Clippers lose 122 to 109 in Denver to the Nuggets. Quick timeout. More of your phone calls coming up next. John, Quentin, Ben, Jamil, stay on hold. I'm Adam Mosland. This is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports.
You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and Out, it's designed for family, the road trip, and the most demanding job.
With that kind of versatility, it's no wonder it's America's best-selling truck for 48 years and counting.
We're back to Trade Zoo. You Zoo haters wait for a bad game here and there, and then you're right back to Trade Zoo. You're just waiting to pounce. I've seen this so many times. Guys, there's a chance nobody's good enough to compete against Denver when they're healthy. I think Denver can beat OKC in a 7-game series. I think I might take them in a 7-game series, honestly. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but I think they could. Honestly. And the only reason I say it now, first of all, they took them to 7 in the second round last season. Denver got better, and they got better because they found out what they had without Jokic. Peyton Watson won Western Conference Player of the Week. That's insane. They got a lot better. That's why I talked about it a lot this summer when we all felt like, hey, the Clippers got better, they got better. Well, our other team's still getting better too, though. Are you really closing the gap if Denver's getting better at the same time? And they did. No Aaron Gordon, no Christian Brown, no Cameron Johnson in this game, and the Clippers still lose to him with 25 Jokic minutes. Now, part of that is because until his last stint, they weren't great minutes. The Clippers won his minutes until the fourth quarter, and things did snowball. And when a bad call goes against you like that, and then it's just call after call, even if they're legitimate calls, it feels like you're getting jobbed. I get how that goes.
This is the Los Angeles.
Clippers lose in Denver. I've been saying that too much. They lose 122 to 109, and Nikola Jokic's return, he only played 25 minutes, but still had 31-10, make it 12-5. The Clippers, though, they were winning the Jokic minutes through the first 3 quarters. He was a -1. Problem is they were still down by 12 heading into the fourth. And then, yes, some fouls went against them. Some extraordinarily bad calls and unique and strange calls went against them. Speaking of calls, John in LA, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Mosel. What's up, John?
Hello?
Yep, John, you're up.
Oh, well, there's a lot of Johns in the world. I didn't know if this is the one you wanted to talk to. Yeah, I got 3 issues tonight. First of all, the refereeing was particularly bad. And I hate to say this about an NBA game, but it looked a little shady. When 4 minutes, there were 32 free throws by Denver and 12 by the Clippers. That's a little, with 4 minutes left in the game, that's a little odd. That Hardaway thing was atrocious, granted. But that wasn't the whole thing. And you point out a lot of other things. But I think one of the biggest problems was the perimeter defense wasn't up to snuff tonight. They just weren't out there. I don't know why, but they weren't.
Well, a lot of that is because the attention Jokic gets and Jamal Murray gets, and you're doubling, and then you have to rotate back.
I know, but honestly,
they're the best offensive team in the league.
Zubac is in there. He handles Jokic okay. He can't stop him. He can't prevent the passes. All that we know all that.
I agree with you.
But the third thing though is I love Coach Lue. I love him. I think he's a fantastic coach. But he gets sucked into this thing with when Lopez hits a few threes in the game before, he wants to stick them in right away. And here's the issue with our 3-point shooting, is that you establish Zubac in the paint. And John Collins is going to the paint, getting assists from Zubats because you're passing him the ball inside. And then you've got
There
a
were also
situation
turnovers trying to do that, but yes.
Okay, there's problems with that, but maybe it's the exterior, the guard passing into Zubats or to Collins inside. It's not always their fault, but once you get that established, then Kawhi can be out there at the 3-point line. You can bring Lopez in. He can knock down a three. He's wide open. Kawhi will be wide open.
The only
Because
reason Coach
they've
Lou brought
sucked
in
the
Lopez,
defense
John,
to the paint.
the only reason he brought in Lopez is when, as soon as Jokic went to the bench, Zubats went to the bench. He was pairing his
that
minutes
shouldn't happen.
against one
Absolutely shouldn't happen.
another.
You should take advantage of the fact
but-
that Jokic is out.
And then he
And-
tried that at the end of the third quarter, John, and Tim Hardaway Jr. started hitting all those threes, even though Zubats was hitting twos on the other end. But you
But
also,
that's
John,
not-
you
that's
also
not-
mentioned how Ivica Zubats does a
Yeah.
solid job against Nikola Jokic. So you want to pair his minutes defensively against Nikola Jokic. So when you're saying that shouldn't happen, it's like, well, which way do you want it?
He doesn't have to be either or. I mean, you don't
want Brook Lopez on
He does
Jokic.
a decent job against Jokic. He does a decent job. Nobody can handle Jokic. Jokic is like this iteration of Larry Bird. And he's a better version of Larry
But
Bird because
John,
he's bigger.
you said you should have Zubats minutes without Jokic out there. They did that to end the third quarter. They did that.
Play him more.
John.
Zubats only played 30 minutes tonight, and he had Lopez in for the balance of that time. Lopez is a fine 37-year-old center who had his better days in Toronto. Right now, he can't play defense. He gets all screwed up at the 3-point line, chasing guys down the lane. The thing about Zubats is because he's not athletic, he sticks around the rim, and he is a presence underneath.
Well,
People
he
avoid
is.
him.
He's one of the best rim defenders in the league. When people bring up blocks like somebody is in the chat right now, it's like, you know why Zoo
he's
doesn't
not
have
gonna-
you know why
the guy
Zoo
can
doesn't
only
have a
jump.
lot of blocks? Because guys aren't even trying him.
No, that's exactly right. Plus the fact that he can only jump 4 inches off the ground, but he knows how to position himself. Lopez, I don't know why Lopez never understood that. He's been playing forever. He's a fine player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing Lopez. But you want Lopez to be good. You want Kawhi to hit threes. Go into the lane and establish your inside game with Zubats and Collins. That's when Leonard is wide open out there at the 3. That's when Lopez can come in, and they're so used to having to deal with the paint, they can kick it out to Lopez. He's wide open. Make a couple of those. So to me, those are the issues tonight. You're right about all the other stuff that you said. But I just think those are the main issues. There's nothing you can say about the refereeing in the NBA. Who knows?
All right.
Is it rigged? I don't know. It's just like it just was particularly bad tonight.
You're right.
And that call. I mean, that 3-point shot where Miller actually moved out of the way to get away from him.
Yeah.
And the guy still stepped on his foot. And then
John, I agree
the whole
with you.
thing-
I agree with you.
Yeah, I know you do. I heard it. You guys are right on about that.
All right, John.
But I think that I really think that they ought to keep Zubats in to get a rhythm in the first quarter, establish the lane offensively, and then do what you want. But if you don't do that, then things are a little dicey. That's what they've been doing for 2 years now.
I don't necessarily disagree with you.
Yeah,
they did find Zubats a couple of times. He had a hook shot on Jokic early. He had a big throwdown off a pick and roll with Kawhi Leonard early in the first quarter. Like they did. They did.
I know they did, but then they took him out after 6 minutes. Usually he used to play 8 minutes, 9 minutes. And then they bring Lopez in.
They took him out when Jokic went out of the game because that's what they always do to match.
He's not that great against Jokic. Nobody's going to do it that well.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Do you want this is what people would say in the bubble when Montrezl Harrell was on Jokic. It's like, what does it matter? Jokic's going to cook against anybody. Yeah, but there's a difference between him shooting 75% against one guy and Montrezl Harrell and only 50% against Zubats. Like that's the difference. To just say, well, everybody's going to get scored on. It's not
strong presence. and he has a. And
So you want Lopez on
extraordinarily
Jokic?
rich.
So you want Jokic?
Pardon me?
You want Lopez on Jokic, who you just trashed?
No. I
So
don't-
which
I don't
is
want
it?
Lopez on
Which
anybody.
is it? Which is it, John? You can't.
Lopez.
All right, John. I appreciate the phone call. Call in again on Sunday,
All
okay?
right. You guys are great.
All right, John.
Let's go for the finals here. All right. Bye-bye.
866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. More of your phone calls coming back. Clippers lose in Denver 122-109. I'm Adam Oslin, and this is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports.
One more break after this.
Look, it's like I don't want Zubas to be taken out of the game, but I also don't want Brook Lopez minutes against Jokic. It's like, well, which is it then? Because they're trying to pair Zubas as a defender against Jokic because he is, believe it or not, the best player one-on-one against Jokic in the league. Yes, everybody can get cooked by him. That's how it works. But go look at the playoff numbers by Jokic last year. His playoff numbers were below his season averages in that series against Zubats, even though he was playing more minutes in the playoffs. Zubats held him to below his season averages, even though he was playing more minutes. He did an adequate job. That wasn't why they lost the series.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for
Like, I don't know how many times I got to show this graphic here. But people, they just want to hate on Ivica Zubats, and they're tone deaf, and they don't care, and they don't listen to logic. And it's like, these are the numbers. This was coming into last season. Defending Jokic one-on-one, plays in isolations. He was only scoring 0.68 points in isolation against Zubats. The next best guy, he was scoring 1 point per possession against an isolation. That's a huge difference. Ivica Zubats is the best one-on-one defender against Jokic. You can tell me about 55-point games and whatever. Yes, Jokic is still going to have crazy good games. He's like an all-time great. He's one of the best players ever. That doesn't mean both things can be true. Zubats can be the best one-on-one defender against Jokic in the league. Jokic can also get 50 on him sometimes because he's fucking Nikola Jokic. He's insane.
All right, one more break after this. Gotta be.
Clippers lose in Denver, 122-109 to the Nuggets. I'm Adam Oslin. This is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Let's go to Quentin. Quentin calling from LA County. Quentin, what's up, my friend?
Hey, how's it going, Adam? I'm calling. This game was rather ironic to me because Tuesday I'd called in and I was proposed a trade for us to trade for Michael Porter Jr. And I think we had a conversation on whether Michael Porter Jr. This is this is hypothetical, whether he would be able to make up for Kawhi Leonard if we get in the postseason and in the event Kawhi were injured. So I just noticed that Michael Porter Jr. played against these same Denver Nuggets last night. He scored 38 points.
Quentin, you're not telling me anything I don't know. I know Michael Porter Jr. has been one of the better players in the NBA this season, granted for a losing team. He has scaled up his offense. I've given him a ton of credit. My point was that you seem to be missing is if Kawhi's injured in the playoffs, it's over. You're not there's no guy that can make up for that, and you're still going to win a playoff series against the number 1 or number 2 seeds.
Okay, and that's where I vehemently disagree with you.
You think you're going to beat OKC or Denver or San Antonio or Houston without Kawhi Leonard in a first-round matchup if you have Michael Porter Jr.?
Yes. If Kawhi Leonard were injured with our same roster and you were to incorporate him, I believe he could be just as effective.
Okay, well, you're wrong.
Just as effective.
I'm sorry. He's not as good as Kawhi Leonard. I'm sorry. That's a crazy comment, Quentin. He could be Michael Porter Jr. can be just as effective in a playoff series as Kawhi Leonard.
And, okay. Did not Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, not him. So, there's no guy they can trade for, Quentin, that could make up for the loss of your best player. That's the problem, my friend.
Okay,
If you're saying
I'm not saying, yeah.
if you're saying add Michael Porter Jr. to Kawhi and James Harden, I get it. That'd be great. But you're gonna have to give up a lot because he's having a really good season.
Right. He has having a good season. But listen, I just want to get him on the team because what I did was write down the players. If we had a starting five of James, Kawhi, Big Zoo, Collins, and Michael Porter Jr., I believe that's enough. That's enough to beat anybody in the Western Conference.
Okay. Well, who are you trading? Who are you trading for Michael Porter Jr.? How are they getting him?
Okay, you're trading DJJ, Bogey, and Kobe Brown, and I think you'd have to probably throw in maybe a second round draft pick, I guess.
Quentin, I gotta tell you something. You're not getting him for those guys. They're getting a first round pick for Michael Porter Jr. at this point. So I'm sorry, but this is fantasy land. Right. It's fantasy land. I like him too, but it's not happening.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have to throw in a first round pick, we do have our 2031 available, right?
Yeah, they got their 2030. They got their 2032. They could throw one of those in. You want to do that for Michael Porter Jr. when you're going to be a 7th or 8th seed?
Okay. Well, listen, 7th or 8th seed. I've seen 7 seeds beat 1 and 2 seeds. So it doesn't matter what seed you're in.
Really?
Adam.
Tell me how many times. Tell me how many times that's happened in NBA history.
It's happened a few times. It happened in 1994 with the Denver Nuggets.
Right. So because it's happened 2 or 3 times in the last 40 years, we should bank on that.
Okay, listen. Nothing is an absolute extreme. They still have to go out there and compete. Okay, they're all professional athletes. But I like this guy. And he still hasn't been put in a situation to where he has to be. Well, he's the number one now in Brooklyn.
All right.
But hey, man, I'm the guy who scored 38 points.
Again, the issue is not do you like Michael Porter Jr. The issue is do you have enough to get him? And the Clippers would have to give up probably too much, and it's really unlikely, especially with his contract. I appreciate the phone call. Call in again on Sunday. I got to take a timeout, Quentin. Call in on Sunday, okay?
All right. Thank you. Okay, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you. 866-987-2570. Quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll close things out. Clippers lose in Denver, 122-109 to the Nuggets. I'm Adam Osland. You're listening to AM 570 LA Sports.
Back again.
I'm trying to keep the show realistic, you know. I'm trying to keep the show in reality here. And I like Michael Porter Jr. too. Other teams like Michael Porter Jr. too. They're going to get at least one first round pick for him, most likely. Do you want to give up your first round picks again? The only 2 that you have right now?
No.
That's kind of nuts.
Also, I doubt he's as good as he is. I don't think he's turning into playoff Kawhi.
Saying that he can do what Kawhi can do if Kawhi is out of the series, that he could just replace him that's just crazy talk. I'm sorry. I love Quentin, but that's not happening. We've never seen Michael Porter Jr. as a number 1 option in a playoff series. What the fuck are we talking about? I'm sorry. Because he could get 20 per game on a Brooklyn team that's going to win 20 games does not mean I like him. I do. If the price was right, I'm all for it. I like his game a lot. I always have. I wanted the Clippers to draft Michael Porter Jr. My God, I was sitting there in the media draft room when that draft went down. I thought they got an SGA already. Take the shot on Michael Porter Jr. They passed on him like 13 other teams did.
Who'd they draft in that one?
Jerome Robinson.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one.
All right, I'll just play the bed real quick here.
Guys, I'll stay on with it even though I'm getting off the air. We'll do some Clippers talk after dark. I'll stay with you a little bit longer here on the YouTube side, okay? Because there's some more calls. I want to get to you.
I've done most of my editing, so I'll get out of your way real fast here.
Streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Do your thing. Don't worry about
This
it.
is the Los Angeles Clippers.
Clippers lose in Denver. Things to do in Denver when you're dead. Underrated movie. Check it out. Early 90s. The girl from Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken is in it. Clippers' next game on this road trip in Phoenix. Front end of a back-to-back Sunday night. They're taking on the Suns, likely without their best player, unless Devin Booker also comes back like Nikola Jokic did today, and it's more Clippers bad luck. Tip-off at 5, pregame show at 4. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call. Our producer back here in the bank, Daniel West, doing big work. The callers, the chatters, appreciate you guys. Clippers Talk After Dark is next.
Over, but it's going on your feet.
So I'm still looking for Coach Lou postgame, guys, and I want to listen to that conversation so we could do it together here.
I never miss an episode.
Because I got time to kill until I go to Sherman Oaks here in a little bit. I want to hear Coach Lou postgame desperately. I want to hear how much he goes in on the officials. If anyone has seen a tweet regarding Coach Lou postgame, I want to hear it. Desperately. Desperately. Because, yes, that's one of the more controversial non-calls of the season. I don't know if I've seen that all year. Reviewing a non-call like that. Reviewing a non-call. Not to mention, I don't think it was a reckless closeout. Do we rest Kawhi on Sunday? Interesting question. Kawhi did end up at 31 minutes. I think that's the most he played since the left knee contusion. Lou will be fine, said Punk's gone wrong. Where is the Coach Lou audio? Does anybody see it anywhere yet? Because I need this. You know what? I might find a different way, a different path to it. Let me check my email. Clippers might have sent me something. I need to know. I need to know. I know. I don't think we had any media out there covering it, so it's likely just Brian Seaman asking the questions. Brian Seaman doing extra work out there. I'll take a couple more phone calls in a second. Clippers Talk. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Clippers Talk. Huh? From Atlanta. Okay, hold on. Jamil, hold on. Jamil, hold on. Sonny Ray from Atlanta. Punk's gone wrong, so it's his prediction that Coach Lou's going to get fined. If there's a game to get fined, this is a game to get fined. It was a momentum swing. I'm not arguing they didn't get a bunch of bad calls against them, because they did. I'm just saying that's probably secondary to losing the non-Jokic minutes. As for Kawhi playing on Sunday, do you want him Sunday against Phoenix or Monday against Philadelphia at home and Paul George? Has Kawhi played against Paul George yet? I don't think that's happened since Paul George went to Philly. I need that badly. I need that. That's my answer. If he can only play one, maybe he plays both. Oh, now the Nuggets didn't win this game or the series. The refs did. Oh, the refs were dunking that ball at the end of game 4. That wasn't Aaron Gordon. Come on now. That's my only point. Punk's gone wrong. That is the main reason they lost the game. Minus 13 in the non-Jokic minutes entering the fourth quarter. It's all the refs. The refs apparently were dressed in disguise as Aaron Gordon as he dunked that basketball at the end of game 4. And the refs also dropped 40 like Jamal Murray did in Game 5 on the Clippers in that playoff series. And the refs also are the reason the Clippers got blown out in Game 7. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. I'm sorry. The Clippers lost that series. You want to talk about tonight's game? Fine. But the Clippers lost that series. They got blown out in Game 7. How can you say it wasn't even close? That the refs were the reason. It's all the refs. Dudes have to make open threes. Again, their defense is hedge the ball screens, meaning put two guys on the ball on the perimeter and make it a 4-on-3 on the backside. The Clippers should have an advantage there. But the Denver Nuggets, they scrambled well with their defense, and the Clippers just missed a lot of open threes. 9 of 25 from 3 in the first half. They attempted 25 threes in the first half. 25. Do you know why? Because they got a ton of open ones and they missed them. Because of that particular defense Denver was playing. 2 on the ball on the perimeter, hedge the ball screen. Clippers find the open man misses open shot. That's what kept happening. The refs were bad tonight. But they're not the reason the Clippers went 9 of 25 in the first half from 3. They're not the reason that Tim Hardaway Jr. hit 5 threes on them. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Could you tap in the phone?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
And all right, can you guys hear me again? Am I back up? Am I here? Are you with me? I think you're with me. Sonny, calling from Atlanta. It's some Clippers talk after dark since I got some time. I got time today. Sonny, what's up?
Hey, thank you for letting me call in. I just had just a few quick things. I wanted to say, as far as Zoo's defense, I totally agree with you. You can only do so much against Jokic. Obviously, a game like today, he proved why he's the best player in the world. Over a month off, he didn't lose a step. His mind was sharp. The Clippers really, in all honesty, I don't even think it was really Jokic. I think it was just a team defense was just, we don't really have any solutions for him,
But no one does.
It was just
no one has solutions.
Exactly. No one. Exactly.
So
It's not
forget
new.
about you can't. How to beat Denver isn't we come up with the solution for stopping Nikola Jokic. It's you can't let Tim Hardaway do what he did. You can't let Peyton Watson do what he did.
Yes, exactly. I think especially in the pick and roll action, with Watson and Murray, with Watson specifically, I just think it was so tough watching that second quarter, him going off the way he did. I mean, credit to him. Obviously, he's improved so much, but point of attack defense was not that good against him. And also just our backline defense wasn't good, especially on those pick and rolls that we were defending. Our rotations were just not quick enough. And we just got punished, I feel over and over again.
Their pick and roll game is also perfection. Their pick and roll with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic is one of the best ever.
Yeah, literally. It's there's only so much you can do. The other guys, obviously, they stepped up, and credit to them. They really CHJ killed us. Point blank simple, he just killed us, and Watson killed us. But what I was going to say, I feel this game really highlighted, though, the two main concerns I feel a lot of Clipper fans have as far as personnel-wise, and it's obviously Chris Dunn and Brook Lopez. I think Chris Dunn I love him. He's a dog. He's great defensively. He brings a lot of toughness and grit. But his limitations offensively, it just proved over and over again throughout the game. It was tough. And you can kind of tell, too, though obviously Denver's defense catered to allowing open threes, and they were obviously just shifting coverage for him to take those shots, and he just didn't make them pay enough times. And then you obviously saw Kobe Sanders make his run in the fourth quarter. He was getting those same opportunities, those open shots in the corner and also attacking closeouts. and he did well. And it really shows like if we just had another guy kind of like that, maybe it is just Jordan Miller or Kobe Sanders playing more tick. Because you saw Chris Dunn last year in the playoffs, like his playing time obviously diminished throughout the series.
At the end of the game, Sonny, and they brought back all the starters but Chris Dunn, and they left Kobe Sanders in there. Rightfully so, because he had just hit two threes.
So.
He had hit 2 threes early in the fourth quarter. So that was the adjustment there because Chris Dunn wasn't hitting.
Yeah, no, 100%. Literally, like you saw, it was like, there's no reason for him to be out there. And then obviously Brook Lopez, love him too, but unfortunately today, like, I don't even think he attempted a shot, which is just, that's rough in and of itself.
You're right.
That's what he's out there for, to spread the floor. And him not even attempting a shot, it just, what is he out there for? You know what I mean? He doesn't give you enough, especially defensively in this matchup. Like, it was really, really tough watching him. He's just too slow-footed. It is what it is. He has his limitations, and that's fine. But against this type of team, especially how much pick and roll they run, and obviously the shooters that they have,
I like Brook Lopez a lot, but was part of the reason that they won those non-Jokic minutes when Zoo was on the bench and Jokic is on the bench, and it was Brook Lopez out there with Jonas Valanciunas. He lost that matchup.
Yeah.
And they put him in actions a lot, and that's just not his strength. It's a bad matchup.
It's just not a strength, yeah. It's a bad matchup, exactly. I just think that's where, like, and I don't know how much it would take, obviously, but of course, it's also kind of maintaining that flexibility between, like, now and later. But if we could somehow get a big that just has a little bit more defensive versatility, like more switchability, it just would. I feel like that would just go a long way, especially in these kinds of matchups. Not to say that Brook can't play in this type of matchup. I just think he needs to play a little less minutes. I mean, I don't even know how many minutes he played tonight, but it
16.
felt like too much.
16.
16, and it felt like a lot. He probably had like 4 fouls too, because I swear he fouled like a number of times. But yeah, I don't know. It just this game kind of showed Chris Dunn and Brook Lopez's limitations, in my opinion. And I mean, it's what it is. It's one game. You got to move on, get the next one. I think even Kawhi obviously didn't play his best either. You saw the same kind of double teams off the wing. Doesn't see, can't make that skip pass that well. I think off-ball movement was lacking. They didn't really give him easy outlets. I think that also kind of showed itself.
No, I agree. I mean, Kawhi definitely had an off. Yeah, Kawhi definitely had an off game, and part of it is the defense they played against him. I still like some of his aggressiveness on some of those drives out there. The drive on Spencer Jones in the fourth quarter leading to that layup, I think it was an and one, was impressive. I don't think Kawhi gave in, but bad whistle. Denver shrinks the floor in the paint, and even without Aaron Gordon, they were good, which is scary. They're better. They're a better team, and there's no shame
100%.
in admitting that. They're better.
No, yeah, 100%. And that's what it is. A team like that kind of humbles you and makes you realize the deficiencies that you have. They highlight them even more, and even without guys like that, which is obviously even scarier. But you got to take it in the chin and move on and see where we go from here. See if this maybe prompts the front office to make even just small moves. Nothing crazy. I don't think they would do anything crazy either way. But
yeah, I agree with you.
It's a good wake up test.
Is this your first time calling in, Sonny?
Yes. Yeah.
Good phone call. Why don't you make it more of a habit, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's tough being in the East Coast. These games end so late.
Yeah, I understand. The East Coast
But
swings that
I
I expect you to call in when they're on the East Coast, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, my friend.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for calling in. Sonny in Atlanta there. Good phone call. Here's another one, a regular. From a first-time caller to a long-time caller. Jamil in Pasadena. Jamil, you're on Clipper Shop with Adam Muslim. What's up, Jamil?
How you doing, Adam? Everything going well with you, brother? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
I'm doing the same, man. Hanging like snot, man. Trying not to be apoplectic about this loss that everybody said is the end of the season. I don't know what's up with these Clipper fans.
It just every loss is magnified because look, they are 22-25, and it's a loss to Denver specifically. And Jokic just came back, and they're a thorn in our side, so it's painful. And the officiating, it's painful.
That was bad. And I'm noticing the trend where the minutes without Kawhi in the second half, that's what we lost. Like, I think we lost the game because we was tied. And when they sat him down, they went up by that double digits. And then James made some type of a run to get it down, I think 7 or 9. And then we just lost that momentum. And it's like, we got to find a way to not be the Los Angeles Kawhi Leonards. And we got to be the Los Angeles Clippers. So, like, when he sits down, which he's human, I know he says he's a robot, but he's not. Sit him down, we should be able to still maintain, the form of play in which was already exerted,
I agree. Anything else?
And then I also feel like people got to chill out on the trying to be a keyboard coach as far as saying what we need to do, what we can do. We weren't even expecting Joker to be in the game. He came at the last second as like the literal Joker, came out of nowhere, and we didn't expect him to do what he did. We didn't expect Peyton Watson to go off like he did, or Tim Hardaway Jr. Maybe it was Tim Hardaway Sr., but Jr., like, it's a flash in the pan. Adelman seems to have something against Ty Lue. It seemed like against us, or I don't know. He's like, he coaches up to the top. I don't know, but it's just one loss. We still can get back within 500 before the All-Star break. If we win against Phoenix on Sunday, and then we get a couple more wins at home, which I think we have, what, is it Brooklyn that's home, or is it Washington when we come back?
Philly's the first game.
Philly. Philly, so Paul George. Okay, yeah, so we got them coming back, and then if we get to within 500 before All-Star break, that was the ultimate goal. It was never, let's go and never lose again. Just be undefeated for the rest of the season. Nah, man, like, you said before, Adam, we talked about it before, the goal was to get back to 500, and I think it was a 40-20 or 30-20, and we only took about 5 losses so far, and we just let the rest of us win. So we lost to a good Denver team. We lost in elevation. We lost with a banged-up Kawhi. We're still trying to acclimate itself to the offense, Zubac, and, we haven't really, I don't know why Ty Lue went away from Giannis. But I feel like if we didn't go away from Giannis so early, I think Giannis could have affected the game just with his presence and his energy, and altering shots. Because those runners, we kept giving those up like it was just a runway, like a conga line,
Denver's really good. They're down guys. Yeah. They just got Jokic back. They still beat the Clippers, who have been the hottest team in the league, and that's disappointing, right? That's not. I get why everyone's so disappointed, because Denver's only going to get better from here.
But I mean, but like you said, Adam, it's like when you play sports, everybody who plays sports, we know this. You play against two teams. You play against the refs and you play against the opponent. Now, if the ref sometimes doesn't always present itself like that, to where it's just you and the opponent. But this game, it happened to be the referees. They're human too. They made a lot of mistakes, like that. I call it phantom call. The phantom call they made against Tim Hardaway. I guess he took a couple, pages out of Luka Doncic's book of acting and showed, how to stretch his foot out like Stretch Armstrong, even though that was not a normal landing. That was not a normal shooting motion, but and he moved out the way. But I guess for some odd reason, they see red when they see the white jersey. So I'm like, that was bad. But nonetheless, you got to learn as a team to play around that. And this is a good learning experience for them to understand it's not going to always go your way. The ball don't always fall in your way. The ball don't always going to fall. The threes ain't going to always fall. But there's other ways to get the wins. When you got a John Collins and Zubac playing the way he was playing, it should have been inside out. Like I think John said that earlier today. It should be an inside out game. And we said that before, me and you, Adam, but I feel like if they go away from it, you can always come back in stints. Bring John up a little higher in the post, have him get the ball, initiate the offense from the top from the nail, and work from the middle out, and see what we can do to try to get guys. Okay, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. But the problem is, you tell me what you were seeing, because to me, Denver's packing the paint. They're blitzing and hedging the pick and roll on the perimeter, and they are daring the Clippers to make shots, open shots. So there's not a lot of room to operate.
True. And with that, from my experience, when I played, what I would have did when they packed the paint like that, I would at least try to have guys coming down from the top of the key, cutting down in the middle. So when the ball goes into the pot of paint, we have guys coming in, cutting down. Then we have guys come out of the paint to have to play either in the action or play in the chase. You got to chase. You got to choose what you're going to do. You're going to stay in the paint and help, or stop Zoo, or you're going to stop this 15-footer from coming down, or stop this 10-footer. That way you can spread it out. And if we establish Zoo early from now on with those games, again, like I said, Denver, Minnesota, with real centers, you establish Zoo. That way the paint can't be packed. If you pack the paint, okay, all we're going to do is keep the ball out to the open man. And if you want to keep the ball to the open man, you're going to be in chase.
Well, the problem is it's not like they didn't get a ton of open shots, though. They took 25 threes in the first half. The only reason they took that many threes, where you're on pace for 50 in the game, is because they were wide open. So like, you have to hit them. You have to hit those three-pointers.
It's no excuse about that. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I feel like these guys, they got to breathe, man. Don't just like Nick Batum was all hard and stuff was done. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. You got to shoot to make the ball. Keep shooting. Like, just don't go away from it. Don't go to try to, now you're going to the lane trying to go against these Giannis Valanciunas, these big guys. And I've noticed that Jonas, I've been watching him since Toronto. He been having Zoo's number. And there's something about him and Zoo where it's like, Zoo struggles with Jonas. And it's like, I don't know why.
I mean, he didn't get matched up with him much, and Zoo did cook at the end of the third quarter in those non-Jokic minutes. Because they're mostly pairing him against Jokic. But the very end of the third quarter, they left Zubats in, and he went to work and had, I think, 6 straight points. The problem is, on the other end, Tim Hardaway Jr. hit 3 3-pointers.
Yeah, I know, man. It's ridiculous. And then the thing about our defense, which I don't like as much, is when you take a Kawhi Leonard, Chris Dunn off the action and off the point of attack, that's when we get killed. You know, it's like you take Kawhi out the action, sit him to the corner, and then you just get the guy at the top of the key, come up, and it's like no one's going to chase down. It's like I like James Harden, but it's like on defense he can put a little more effort out there. He's like a Luka kind of, like he'll watch you, and then if it falls, it falls. If it doesn't, he may get the rebound. But it's like, come on, James, it's like a little bit more on the perimeter, so we don't have Kawhi chasing and Chris Dunn chasing and getting 4 fouls. Like, come on, man.
Hey, I'll say this. Speaking of bad foul calls, Chris Dunn's first 2 fouls in the ball game on Jokic, those were iffy fouls. Those were iffy fouls and got him out of the game quick.
Even Kawhi's foul, the second one they got, even Kawhi was shaking his head like, dude, that's a foul, bro, but they smacking me in the head and they ain't calling this. So I'm like, I could tell he was in his own head, where it was like, I'm getting assaulted out here. I could put a police report in for all these damage I'm taking.
I forgot about that to start the game. So if you want to say, hey, the refs set a tone early on and wouldn't let the Clippers play the same way Denver was playing on the other end, there is something to that. And I have not talked about the refs all season long. Even when people were talking about the Lakers game recently, I was like, look, they were up 26. If you lose that game, you can't blame the refs. You were up 26. This game, a little bit different.
Yeah, Adam, you're right, bro. And it's bad when you see that Joker had almost as much free throws as people had shot attempts. It's like, geez, I think Zoo only had, 11 shot attempts? Joker shot 15 free throws?
And a lot of them came late. They extended their lead at the free throw line. It snowballed.
We had it down with that 4. We had it down by 4. Then that Phantom Hardaway foul, and it came out of nowhere. And this is going to kill me. If they come out with that minute report and say that was a mistake, what's the point?
Well, here's the problem. It's not going to be in the last 2-minute report, but there's a pool. Yeah, there's a pool report where they could be asked questions post game, but we don't have any media there to ask the officials questions from the Clippers side. I don't know if anybody's going to ask it from Denver's side. I don't know if Coach Lou said anything about it post game because we don't have any damn sound. I don't know. It's frustrating. We got no post-game sound that I can find. I'm literally still doing the show because I want to hear what the hell Coach Lou said post-game, and I'm very interested.
Right.
And also to talk to you guys.
It's like, yeah, and you're right about Adam, and it's funny because I noticed that earlier this year that, like, we got to start, like, we fans and all that, and we love you, Adam. We know Carlo, and I like Will Dyke and Chuck and everybody. I'm a fan of all y'all, and it's like, they need to do more for us. Like you said, we need post game sound. We need some type of information as to what you think. Because like in our head, like we don't know because the referees literally cost us the game. in the last part of the game. And in the very beginning of the game, they did the same thing. And it's like, if that's going to keep happening, we need explanations as to what's going on. What did you see? What did you think? Because I'm looking at Joker, the same plays that Zubac is getting assaulted on, Joker getting it. It's like, come on, man. Like, it's egregious now. It's like, and he misses free throws, so the ball didn't lie the whole time. And they kept trying to give it to him, like, okay, second chance. Okay, practice for the practice. Go ahead again, please. Do it again. Just one more. Like, no, man, let's play the game regular. Win how we win, lose how we lose. If we would have lost the game by 2, you know, and it was like a good ref game, I wouldn't even complain. But we got blown based on calls that were from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the John Connors I seen, I think it was a John Connors call they had, and I was like, what? That was a foul? Like, and he hit, I think it was Brook Lopez when they elbowed Brook in the head, and they said, oh, but before Brook blew on him. Like, huh? He elbowed him in his head. That's an MMA move.
Even aside from the fact on the Jordan Miller play, aside from the fact that it was a non-call, and then the refs decided to review it because David Adelman campaigned. Aside from that being out of the ordinary, I don't think it was a reckless closeout. When they're reviewing it, do they not see Jordan Miller goes to his right side, and then he ends up
out the way,
backing up? Jamil, I appreciate the phone. I'll keep you on hold, okay? Hold on for me. Ernesto calling in from Riverside. You're on Clipper Stock with Adam Awesome. Ernesto, what's up?
Hey Adam, how's it going, man? Honestly, what's your thoughts on? I know we had a really tough game with the 3-ball, and like you said, if we make maybe 5 or 6 more in that first half, it's a whole different game. Do you feel like we need to get some more shooters, or we stick it out with Dunn?
I mean, they need another guard that can handle the ball and shoot, but also not be a liability on defense, and that's hard to find.
Right.
If they got Kobe White or Colin Sexton, though, I'd be very happy about that.
I'm with you with that. Yeah, because he's definitely a two-way player, man. It was just frustrating. Aside from the refs, I agree it was really bad. A lot of questionable calls, but that was my biggest takeaway. Just us missing so many threes, man.
Yeah, the threes in the first half especially, because they had so many open looks, and the only way to loosen up that defense is by hitting threes there. Like, that's how you loosen up the defense. Hit your damn open shots. Now, it's a make or miss league, and that's easier said than done, but they had far too many good looks that they missed. And taking 25, the only way a Clippers team would take 25 threes in the first half is if they were getting a bunch of open looks, period. So I know they had good looks because they're not going to force it. They don't go for a certain number of threes. They take what the defense gives them. The defense was giving up the 3-ball. They were double teaming on the perimeter. They were trapping. They were blitzing. They were hedging. And they said, beat us with your role players with open threes, and the Clippers couldn't do it.
That was it, man.
And it's the same thing that happened in the playoff series. Like, none of this is new. They'll see the exact same thing. And if you hit your shots, you're probably winning the game. If you don't, you're definitely losing.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminded me of that Game 7 where it was just so frustrating where they just, opened up the game and it turned out to be a blowout because we couldn't hit any shots.
Yeah, they couldn't hit shots.
Yeah,
I think they led by 5 after the first quarter, but after that, it got away from them very quickly.
It got away, man. Thanks for taking my call, Adam.
All right, Ernesto. Appreciate you. This is Clippers Talk After Dark, and I think if you guys are watching on the YouTube side, I'm all over the place because I'm moving my computer around because I think we have the post-game audio from Coach Lou. And now I need to run the board here and figure out if we actually do. Let's see. Do we have it? Oh, I see a movie file. I think we got it.
Hardaway foul.
Whoa, we got it, baby.
As delicately as you can you give us an explanation of the Hardaway foul, the reckless closeout? and how they were able to review and
That's it? Oh, I thought you were about to say some more.
like what was the explanation?
Okay, so Brian Seaman is asking about it. I love this.
I thought you were about to say some more.
Like what was the explanation you got both of the ability to make the call after the air ball and where Jordan was from a defensive standpoint?
No comment, Brian. I was gonna be mad and probably get fined. And when I saw Mrs. Faye and Mr. Ray in the hallway, they made me feel a lot better. And I smiled and got a chance to see them. And so I don't know. Whatever the call was, it's over now. And I'm not gonna speak on it.
So Coach Lou is sidestepping it like Jordan Miller was sidestepping and making sure it wasn't a reckless closeout. I get it. He doesn't want to get fined. He talked with the referees afterwards. Cooler heads prevail, but it's a bad call.
Got a chance to see them. And so I don't know. Whatever the call was, it's over now. And I'm not going to speak on it.
How hard is it to guard Nikola Jokic without fouling?
Very hard. He's already the best player in the world. And then, when you he's smart. He draws fouls. He accumulates fouls. And it's just tough to guard him. He puts you in some tough positions. If he's already the best player in the world, then you can't touch him because of, he draws fouls. It's hard to guard him, and so he understands that. And that's why he's the best.
What was working for you guys to start both the third and the fourth quarter? You made runs in both of those moments to get back into the game.
I think we got some stops, got out early in transition. And, we understood how they was playing us. We thought Joker would be, up blitzing more, but he didn't. So it kind of had us all bound. We came in preparing for the blitz. Valanciunas did, but once we saw what they were doing defensively, was able to try to take advantage of it, made quicker decisions. We didn't hold on to the basketball and was able to attack.
Kawhi seems to be still on somewhat of a minute restriction. Do you almost kind of roll the dice in the fourth quarter to see where you're at with the team?
I want to hear it again.
He understands that, and that's why he's the best.
What was working for you guys to start both the third and the fourth quarter? You made runs in both of those moments to get back into the game.
I think we got some stops, got out early in transition. And, we understood how they was playing us. We thought Joker would be, up blitzing more, but he didn't. So it kind of had us all bound. We came in preparing for the blitz. Valanciunas did, but once we saw what they were doing defensively, was able to try to take advantage of it, made quicker decisions. We didn't hold on to the basketball and was able to attack.
The blitz is what I'm talking about with them hedging the screen on the perimeter.
Kawhi seems to be still on somewhat of a minute restriction. Do you almost kind of roll the dice in the fourth quarter to see where you're at with the team? I mean, you had it rolling with him on the floor. Not sure what his minute restriction was, but I'm guessing it was around 30, 32 minutes.
Yes.
And so do you kind of feel like I'm just going to get us to the game and then maybe have James take over?
Yeah, being down the way we were, come back, take the lead, go up one, and then go down again and have a good flow and a good rhythm offensively. I was going to keep him in the game and then bring James back and just see what we can do. In the last 3 minutes, we had to play without him. We got to play without him. But I thought we had a good flow and a good rhythm. So that was a reason for keeping him in the game. And, we took him all the game, could have got away from us, which it did.
Just comment on the play of John Collins. I mean, he's just great energy, knocking down shots. I mean, what have you learned about John over especially the last maybe 6 weeks?
Just the player that he is, like high energy, offensive rebounds, always doing the right thing. For us, Jeremy, Castleberry, and JVG, like every single day, Jeremy with the workouts, just, we knew he's a way better catch and shoot three guy than he was, early on in the season. And I think, the reps he's gotten with Jeremy, understanding space and where he needs to be at on the floor. I think over the last, 20 games, he shooting like 60% from three, so just get the spacing. Before in the past, I know he's been used to ducking in and trying to, post up more. But the team we have is probably about more space. And if he has smaller guys on him, we can take advantage of that. If not, you got to get to space. That's where your shots are going to come from. So he's understood that. And then he's also understood, just defensively every single day, how we need him to play, what we need him to do. And JVG and Jeremy's done a great job with that. Thank you, Faye and Mr. Ray. Really appreciate it.
Ooh. So Coach Lou called out the officials there, thanking them afterwards, possibly sarcastically.
Oh, wait, it made me feel a lot better, and I smiled and probably get
where Jordan was from a defensive standpoint?
No comment, Brian. I was gonna be mad and probably get fined. And when I saw Mrs. Faye and Mr. Ray in the hallway, they made me feel a lot better, and I smiled and got a chance to see them. And so I don't know. Whatever the call was, it's over now.
So Coach Lou thanks them post game, likely sarcastically.
ABG and Jeremy's done a great job with that.
I don't blame him.
Thank you, Faye and Mr. Ray. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Faye and Mr. Ray. That's a bad, bad call. Because I'm even talking with Tomer currently on X about it, and I'm wondering, he's saying there's no trigger for that review to happen. But if they're reviewing a hostile act, they should have done it right away. Now, because the ball was an air ball and went out of bounds, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is on the ground, and the game has a stoppage, they could justify it as saying, well, we had more time to think about it, and we thought it could have been a hostile act. And they could say that was the trigger for the review. It's a bad call. It's a tough loss. But I got to go. I want to hear from Coach Lou. We did. I'd highly recommend checking out the video section, guys. Law Murray came on pregame and talked about some of the trade possibilities with the Clippers as the deadline approaches on February 5th. So we're talking next Thursday. And if you want to hear that conversation where he updates the John Collins situation we've been talking about, are they going to be able to keep John Collins? I highly recommend this in the video section. Check that out. I'm going to be on AM 570 coming up at 11 p.m. Pacific time doing F&A on Fox Sports Radio. But if you're just a Clippers fan, I'll talk to you guys on Sunday, pregame at 4, Clippers in Phoenix.